WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. I am Cece Shatz, a Doyenne of Relationship Building, and we are on the Author's Corner, Meet the Author today. And I am so excited to be able to bring our author to you so that you can meet her in person. But before we do that, we got to do our homework. Of course, you guys know if you want to reach us, just go to goingsolomedia.com, and then our other website, which has everything that we do, which is goingsoloNetwork.com, that you can find all of our websites on there, and you can connect with us, and we can start, doing things together. And that's what it's all about, right? So we are going to move forward into our host, our guest today, and I am very excited to bring her forward. We have Barbara Smith. She's the author of I Made Life My Bitch. And I love the title, Barbara. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Cece.
It is so great having you. So your book is really about how you escaped the toxic marriage and outran cancer, and you started over in paradise.
It was amazing.
So I love the book. I read the whole thing front to back all the way through. And I really loved it. I loved the book. Yeah.
Thank you.
So thank you for writing it, because I really felt as I was reading it that you took me on a journey of your life, but you also took me through, really some of the, the outpouring of, releasing some of these things that had happened to you. So tell us a little bit about your journey.
Well, I never realized when I started to write the book that my story was going to be so universal. I can't think of anybody I know who hasn't been in a bad relationship or a bad marriage, bad boyfriend, something, and if maybe you haven't had any kind of a scary diagnosis, I'm sure somebody's family members have, like mother, father, aunt, uncle, grandparent. And then who doesn't want to start their life over in paradise? Everybody wants that, right?
Absolutely.
And so I didn't realize it was really a book that I wrote from my heart. It was like my own personal catharsis. It was like, a splinter under my skin that I just had to get out and get onto the page. But I didn't really realize that my story was all of our story. And I really wanted to give back to other women who might have faced challenges. People believe that they're too old, that they're not strong enough, that they can't do it. And I wrote the story not only for myself and my own catharsis, but to really give people hope and inspiration.
Yeah, you certainly did, and it showed on every page. Honestly, it was really beautifully written, and it held us, as we're reading it. With each page turned, I didn't want to put it down, so it was really very good. It was very.
I always wanted to write a page turner, so
and I thought it was very interesting. Gosh, what a life! Going from California, you were. Working in California, you were making a good living in California, and you had what many would have thought would have been the ideal life, right?
Absolutely. So I had a 30-year career in high tech. I sold computers and software, made a ton of money, worked for the biggest names in the technology industry, married 2 children, homes, everything a girl could want. But my first husband was an alcoholic, and it ruined our marriage. And then I was single for about a millisecond, and guess what? Married the second one. And so I really loved both of them, and I really wanted to make those relationships work, but living with active alcoholism is just a non-starter. It's just, you can't do it. And I didn't want my life to be about that. And so I was really trying to work on my marriage. In 2014, my husband and I had gotten back together after being apart for a whole year in 2013. And then I got cancer. And I was diagnosed with breast cancer the day after I turned 52. And I just saw the way he was acting during the whole experience. And I realized, you know what? He's not going to take care of me. This is the time when you really need your husband to step up. And he wasn't able to do it. And so I left him in the middle of my own chemotherapy, which is the most badass thing I've ever done. I don't ever want to have to do anything like that ever again. But it was a decision that saved my life. And it wasn't even a hard decision to make. It's like, oh, I see how you are. We're done here. So I went through chemotherapy alone. I left him right before I lost all my hair, and went through treatment with an army of friends and my sister. and people driving me all over the place because I was on, painkillers. You can't drive.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then I got reconstructive surgery. And when I was all put back together, when I was all whole again, I looked at my choices and I thought, that choice sucks. That choice sucks. Ooh, no way. Hey, my daughter had gotten a job teaching English in Japan as a new college graduate in 2013. And I thought, that's something I could do. And so I looked at Spain, I looked at Chile, I looked at, big truck, sorry.
That's okay.
I looked at Japan, and I looked at Thailand. And the Thai job snapped me up in a hot minute. And I just thought, this is what's meant to be. I bought a one-way plane ticket. My now ex-husband drove me to the airport, sulking. And I haven't seen him since. That was just the way it rolled.
That's amazing. We do have a comment here, just so you know. Terry says, powerful story. And it most certainly is. I mean, it's amazing that you were able to really go through all that you went through and still be able to be, whole. You know what I mean? You didn't let it affect you. You made the decisions that you needed to make that were, good for your life. Yeah. And you moved forward. And I think the book is very inspirational for anybody that is traveling through a journey that they have to really make some hardcore decisions.
For sure. And, everybody's story is going to be different, but the message that I wanted to leave people with after the book is everybody's got stuff. Some people get cancer, some people get hit by a bus. You can't spend your time saying, why me? You have to just say, okay, that sucked. I'm going to pick myself up. And what kind of life do I want to create with the rest of the time that I have left?
Right.
Cancer was a huge wake-up call, and it gave me such inspiration and actually so many gifts. It was actually a huge gift to me, which I don't think anybody I know who's ever had cancer would say cancer was a gift, but it was my wake-up call. It was like, dude, you have got to choose yourself. You've been choosing your husband this whole time, and he's going to drag you until it kills you. Choose yourself.
Yeah, I totally get that. I was, just to share a little bit with you, and I know we talked about it because we are friends. And so we talked about it a little bit. But as I was going through my divorce when I was 50, and I found out I had cervical cancer and kind of had to go through, I was at the very beginning stages, thank God. And so I didn't, I had a total hysterectomy, and that kind of did the trick, and I hope. And so I hope that, the cancer cells won't come back again, but, we be tested, and we're trying to think positive. But it is so true that, you really have to focus on yourself, and you have to dig deep and find that inspiration of the journey. You've got to say to yourself, hey, this is not the end of it, right? This is just a portion of my life and what I'm having to experience.
Not the end. And when you were saying, oh, you didn't let it affect you, I think you're being incredibly charitable to me. I let it affect me, believe me. I felt like, have you ever seen like a snake or a squirrel or a frog that's been run over by a car? That was me. I was squished flat when I came to Thailand. And all I did was work and sleep and drink and cry. And every month in Thailand, I started to feel like my life was opening up, like I was blooming again, like a flower, like I'd been closed so tightly. And I felt my life get better every month. And, I just let it happen and embraced it. Thailand was really good for me. It was really good for, I flung myself to the other side of the earth to get away and to start my life over in a place that I felt was going to be more peaceful for me. New career, new friends, new everything.
Rode a motorcycle.
I always want that.
In Thailand too.
In Thailand. Oh my God. Those people are crazy. The drivers are just crazy. But it's something that I always wanted to do. Mm-hmm. And I just didn't feel like here that I could do it, because we have the Cadillac Escalade or the big F-150 truck could come and just wipe you out in a minute. There, It's a million motorbikes. And yeah, they sometimes crash into each other, but kind of expected, right?
Yeah. Did you ever have an accident?
I had 3 my first year.
Oh, did
but
you?
I learned, I was never really hurt, but I learned a lot. And I learned that if you're really tired, don't drive your motorbike. go to bed with a glass of water. I'm all for water and sleep. Those are my two big healers.
Well, you took us on the journey of learning how to ride a motorcycle. All of the things that you wrote in the book was amazing, to be able to go through. Even driving when you were in California on your highway there, you said how treacherous it was, and things like that. And even some of the things you would say, I went shopping, I did this, and, and that you were sick. And I'm thinking, you did all of that. I would have just went home and went to bed.
I did a lot of that. And, that's another way, that was another gift that cancer gave me, is it taught me to live in the moment and to appreciate the time that we have. But it also completely eliminated my fear. Because when I went through that chemotherapy class and they're like, here are all the crappy side effects that chemotherapy can give you. And it's just like, you're just taking one hit after another. And I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be horrible. And then I thought, oh, none of this is real. I'm here fearing all these things that might happen that have not happened. And that's what all fear is. It's something in the future that hasn't happened yet. And it's not even real. Like, that stuff hasn't happened. If it happens, then you'll deal with it later when it happens. But don't freak out about it. There's no point in it.
Mm-hmm. You're so right. And it's true. And I know, on the commercials they have now with the drugs, right? And then they've got all that stuff. Well, this could happen, that could happen, this could happen. And you're thinking, like, why do I want to take it?
Why do I want to take this? It's not good for me.
Yeah. So it is true. And again, how people handle things, and it can affect their lives, whether they want to handle it in a positive way or if they want to be a negative. I think that also affects your outcome, don't you think?
I think it 100% affects your outcome. I have always tried to be a very positive person and just keep thinking in a positive direction, not have a victim mentality. But when I need to rest, I think that the society that we live in America is very much a go, go, go society. And people are made to feel guilty about caring for themselves. I don't feel guilty for a bit of that now. It's like, if I'm tired, I'm going to get a big glass of water and I'm going to go to bed. Because water and sleep may not fix everything. It probably won't cure cancer, but it's going to fix a lot of things. And when I was going through chemo alone, you really have to stay hydrated and you have to rest. So water and sleep, girls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, absolutely. I totally get that. It's really a good lesson for us to take away from your book, is that we can't focus on ourselves, and it's okay to do that. It's okay to do that. We're talking more and more on our shows here about focusing on yourself, how allowing people to slow down and do meditation and get more in tune with themselves. And it's we all want to live longer and we want to live happy, right?
Yeah. Quality.
Yeah. Quality, absolutely. That I think when I was reading your book, that was one of the things that it kind of struck me, is that you were truly looking for the quality of your life. You were trying to figure that out as you were moving through a bad relationship. You were trying to sort it out, even though you loved your husband. You were trying to sort, and I could tell when I was reading it that how much you didn't want to do what you were doing, but you had to do what you were doing.
Well, I saved my own life in the process. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's something that we all have the ability to do, but we have to have the courage. And like you said, we have to dig deep. Mm-hmm. And that's what I did. It was just like, dude, if it's him or me, I'm choosing me. I'm going to dig deep, find my strength, call on the army of friends for help, call my sister, my family, and just say, and I'm kind of a superwoman type. They're not used to hearing me say, I need help. I was the first one raising the white flag. It's like, I surrender. I'm just going to go through this. I'm not going to fight it. I think that's the other thing that is such a damaging message in the cancer community is fight, be a warrior, fuck cancer. Those kinds of messages. Don't fight at all. Surrender immediately. Go to bed. Drink water. Mm-hmm. Have a nap. Have a nice emollient bath for your skin. Mm-hmm. Fill yourself with the very best food, best water. Don't drink or take drugs while you're going through this. Your body needs you to be nice to it. And so that's what I was. I was nice to myself.
Yeah. Yeah, that is so true. We have to start taking better care of ourselves, as we move
Well,
forward.
now I'm all about the health. I drink a green juice, like a blender full of vegetables every morning. It's been wonderful for my skin. I gave up dairy. I'm mostly vegan. It's transformational.
Mhm.
Exercise, swimming, exercise that you love. I'm never doing CrossFit ever again because I don't love it. It's kind of
Oh, yeah,
miserable.
that was a portion in your book too, the CrossFit. When I read that, I thought, I can't believe she's doing CrossFit
Oh
because
my God. I never want to do another burpee as long as I live.
that is hard, very
It's
hard. I
amazing.
used to work in an office a while back, and out my window, the next door neighbor was a CrossFit, people place, and we would see people dragging big like cement things across, and they were, I
The
mean,
giant
they were,
wheel,
oh,
doing
they
the,
were
the big
torturing,
tire and
torturing
everything, the
themselves.
rope.
Yeah,
No, not doing that.
it
I
was
swim, I
crazy.
do yoga, I do Pilates, I dance, and I spin. And all of those bring me joy. Spinning
Right.
is hard, but it's joyful.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I love to swim and I love dancing, and I think sex is great too for you.
Well, if I could find an appropriate man, I'd be having a lot of that. But
I know I can
honestly,
share it with you because we're friends, but I thought,
I
well,
just keep
that's
coming back to the quality. And I don't need a boyfriend. I don't need a man, but I would like to have somebody who's like I can feel comfortable with, that I feel is like on the same page. And
yeah.
that takes a while to find, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Always certainly does. I know I always tease and say it's part of my weight loss program, but it is true, whatever. Out there, just putting it out there. But yeah, now I'm blushing now. I probably shouldn't have said that. I don't just talk and don't even think about what I say. But okay, so it is very true that you don't need a person in your life because you have you, right? You have your best friend is you. And so when you focus on what it is that you want and how you want to move forward in your life and how you want to spend your time and take your journey, that's really what you want to focus on. But it is nice if you can find someone in your life. And so on your book, we're going to talk about that when we come back. So we have to do our quick commercial. But when we come back, we're going to talk about Tinder in Thailand.
All
Because you
right.
also shared a piece of that in your book too, and a lot of other things that you experienced in Thailand. So we want to know a little bit more about that because we do look at Thailand as being such a paradise, and so we want to know from someone who has actually lived there exactly what it's like. But before we go, I want to be able to share with everyone again. The name of your book is "I Made Life My Bitch," and you've got a wonderful Facebook group that's on Facebook. So join it. And again, it's Make Life My Bitch. And so definitely join the Facebook page. I'm in Facebook group. I did that. And so we can kind of go through life. And I want to find out a little bit when we come back too about the title, why you chose that particular title for your book. But you guys, we can find it on Amazon. I found it on Amazon. I did the Kindle, dropped it down, read it, and it was an easy read, very good read, and it was fun reading. So, and inspiring. Your journey is definitely inspiring. So, thank you so much, Barbara Smith. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to be right back. Everyone, again, I Made Life My Bitch. We're going to talk with Barbara Smith when we come back. You're listening to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network, and we'll be right back, everyone. So stick around. Just go grab that water that's so important to drink, and we'll be right back. Well, welcome back, everyone. You're listening to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. We are on the Author's Corner, Meet the Author. I am Cece Shatz, the Doyenne of Relationship Building, and we have our wonderful author here with us today, Barbara Smith. She wrote a terrific book. It's called I Made Life My Bitch. So welcome back, Barbara. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, the first part of the show is really interesting. And as we move forward, number one, tell us, why did you decide to name the book I Made Life My Bitch?
So there's a great story behind this, actually. My friend Mary, who's hilarious, she lives in California, and I had come back one time during 2017 from Thailand to America to just see friends and get some things handled. And I said, I'm writing a book. She said, great. What's it about? And I said, well, it's kind of my own Eat, Pray, Love story, except I have to find a better title than Trapped in an Alcoholic Marriage, Got Cancer, Ran Away to Thailand. She said, yeah, I think you should call it I Made Life My Bitch. And I was like, oh no, I couldn't. That's impossible. That's such an aggressive title. And I thought about it, and I kind of just let it sit with me for a long time. And I thought, I have earned every word in that title. That's what I'm naming the book. And I knew that it would like jump out at people. It's a title that it's either love it or hate it. You cannot ignore it.
Well, I think it's kind of a cool title. And I think we do have to take ownership, right? Ownership of our lives and be able to move forward. And you certainly did that. So coming from, a toxic marriage, then, in California, then moving and then getting the cancer and having to overcome that, and going through surgery, reconstructive surgery, all of those things that you did. Then you decided you're going to move over to paradise, over to Thailand, right? Your daughter is close by. So and I thought that was sweet. You wanted to be with your daughter, but you didn't want to be too close for comfort. So that was kind of cool. So tell us about the experience of living in Thailand. Now, in your book, you had mentioned how you've gotten apartments and various different things. So share with us a little bit about that.
So I lived primarily in southern Thailand. So if you've never been to Thailand, here's the way to think about Thailand. It's the head of an elephant and a trunk. So Bangkok is at the bottom of the head. I was halfway down the trunk on both the east and west coast. So the east coast is Gulf of Thailand. The west coast is Andaman Sea. So I was in a little town called Suratani, right on the Gulf of Thailand, medium-sized Thai city. No English. Nobody speaks English. Very authentic, traditional Thai city. But the most wonderful, kind people you'd ever know. So pointing and smiling, doing the Y, and Google Translate can get you very, very far in a medium-sized Thai city. So I ended up working there in Suratani for a year for a little language school. And I immediately started teaching adults. So I taught kids, but adults were really my scene. And so I ended up teaching the air conditioning king of southern Thailand. I ended up teaching a CEO of a shrimp processing company and his whole executive staff. It was really fun. And then I got a job working for the same company, but in hotels on Koh Samui, which is an island in the Gulf of Thailand. So I taught front office, housekeeping, food and beverage, and spa. Those were my 4, customer-facing departments. By the time I was done, about a year later, I was teaching everybody on the staff, the laundry, the gardeners, the engineers, the whole management team, everybody. Because I'm a good teacher, and it wasn't hard. It was very joyful and very fun. But they turned out to be very controlling, and that wasn't working for me. So I decided, fine, I'll just retire, which I did. And then I moved to Phuket, which is on the Andaman Sea, so the west coast of the trunk of the elephant. And I started a vegan food company there and went to the gym every day. And I knew no one. But that, to me, is a beautiful skill that anybody can attain. Move to a new place, put down roots, make friends. You can do it. Everybody goes, oh my God, how did you do it? You're so brave. I said, it wasn't brave at all. Anybody can do it. And I did it with planes. That's how I did it. Planes. It's my secret.
Yeah. It's amazing. Your book was really great. It took us through the whole journey of all of that. And there's so much in the book that we're not going to talk about today. So you definitely got to go and get the book. I mean, you've experienced a lot, and you've shared a lot, and you wrote it so beautifully. It was terrific.
Well, that was one of the hardest things. It's just finding your voice as a writer. It takes a while. You know, you have to, you know, my subject matter was like, I became a bestseller in the 2 feel-good Amazon categories of cancer and divorce. Like, who doesn't want to read that, right? I had to make it accessible so that people would feel like it was a joyful read and that it was a lighthearted, funny page turner, which it is.
Yeah, very, very much so. So one section of your book, and we'll just talk about it briefly too, is that you decided it was time for you to start dating again. So you, and I wouldn't even have thought about this, but you went on Tinder, right? Tinder.
Well, you know, we have so many dating sites in the US. In Southeast Asia, if you're not Southeast Asian, you have Tinder. That's really all there is. And so because Thailand is such a vacation mecca, I met vacationers. And, you know, you meet people from all over the world. Europeans, Australians, Indians, South Africans. You just meet them all. A few Americans, but not as many as you think because it's really far away. But Tinder is location-based. So you're going to see the people that are near you and you can swipe left or right. It's pretty easy.
That's amazing. Yeah, I wouldn't even have thought about that. But you talked
I
about
wouldn't
that
either. It was one of my young teacher friends. She said, oh, yeah, I had a date. You know, I'm really looking forward to meeting somebody. I'm like, how are we going to meet somebody here? She goes, Tinder. And I'm like, isn't that just for hookups? She goes, well, it doesn't have to be. It's just another way to meet people. And I thought, she's right. It is just another way to meet people.
Yeah, you make the decision.
Plenty of hookups going on, but just another way to meet people.
Yeah, you make the decision on whether it's a hookup or not, you know.
Right.
So yeah,
exactly.
I totally get that.
We're in control.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think kudos to you for dating and not letting anything hold you back. You decided that you were going to move forward in a very positive way. So now let's move it forward. I don't want to share any more because I want people to buy the book because there's so much in it. I'm telling you, you guys, that we haven't even talked about. There's other journeys that you went on, other experiences that you had. You know, if you're going through a traumatic time in your life, inspirational information. So buy the book. It's I Made Life My Bitch. It's on Amazon. It's like one of the top sellers there. Join her Facebook page. Again, is it I or is it Make Life?
It's I Made Life My Bitch. I put the
okay. You know what? I need to fix that because I left the I out. So I do apologize about that.
No problem.
But I'm in the group. I'm in the group. So I'm looking forward to participating.
I put the link to the group in the chat in our private chat.
Yeah. I mean, I have it, but I can't bring it forward into the live broadcast, but yeah.
Okay.
But definitely get it. It's I Make Life My Bitch on Facebook. It's a group.
Oh, no, it's made. I Made Life My Bitch.
Oh, I made. Oh my goodness. We're definitely screwing this up. So, but we can fix it with one little stroke here. That's how we do it. That's how we roll. We roll like that. There we go. I Made Life My Bitch. It's a group, and definitely join the group. But let's talk about the future.
Yes.
Now you're living here in Florida. You're one of my friends here. And we belong to our travel group, the Going Solo Travelers. We did a fun travel together. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your journey, what's in store for us here with you.
Well, I came back to the States to get the vaccine. So I got the J&J. So I'm one and done. If I need to get a booster, I will. And I would encourage all of you, if you're on the fence, just get it because protect us all. I am here taking care of my sister. And taking care of is the wrong word. She nearly died of kidney failure about a year ago. So I'm here cooking, signed her up for the gym, got her a personal trainer, you know, just helping her regain her independence because she was really sick and kind of weak. She is doing absolutely fantastic now. And so now I'm able to get away and travel. I just bought a condo in St. Pete. So, and I'm still just dating up a storm. I've got a date tonight. I've got one Sunday night and I've got one Monday night.
And we're going to go dancing next Wednesday for sure.
That's right. And I'm going out with the girls on Saturday. So none of the boys get Saturday night. Me and the girlfriend.
There you go. There you go. So you heard it here. You heard it here, everyone. Life goes on, right? And you want to just live it to the fullest. And that's
I'm just trying to decide what I want to do with my vegan food company, if I want to bring that to the States or try to get investment and have, a food company run it and kind of license the recipes? I'm not sure yet, but, getting here, getting established, getting my sister's health on a good track, getting the place furnished, buying the condo. Oh, I bought a car too. I feel like I've done nothing but spend money since I've gotten here.
She didn't just buy a car. She bought a sports car. So it's like, it's a little bitty thing that we have to crawl on our knees to get into. But yeah,
bitty car.
Yeah. I mean, really, I think you did make life your bitch. So for sure.
I think I'm going to continue to, because that's what I'm about.
Mm-hmm.
I loved what you said that, I didn't let this experience affect me. It really did. And I feel like I've been kind of climbing back this mountain, but now I'm on like full speed again. I feel like I'm back in my body. I feel like I'm mentally and physically probably in the best health that I've ever been. And I think that this is just a good time for me to figure out what I want to do going forward. The message that I have for women is, have confidence in yourself. You can do it. You can ask for help if you feel like you need it. Just go out and do what you want to do. The way I end the book is, you're not a train on a track. You're driving your own car, and you can keep going forward, or you can make a left turn, or you can back up, or you can do donuts in the parking lot. You can do whatever you want. You can reinvent your life. You can leave your husband, your grown children, your job, your home. You can start over and make your life anything you want it to be, any place in the world. And you can make life your bitch.
Absolutely. And this is why, you are such an inspiration. And I can see your sister is feeling it, because you've inspired her. And it is true. And I love what you said at the beginning of the show, is that there are so many people that are walking or having this journey, or they're walking down the same road, the same path, and they can veer off into the negative and be miserable and probably not survive, or they can go the other direction and try to focus on their journey, focus on living, being inspired, reaching out to people like you that can, have a book like this that you can read and put it down and be inspired to go forward in your life. So kudos to you, girl.
In the future, I think I'd like to do more speaking. I'm going to write another book about healing. I'm going to write a book about physical and mental healing, because our minds and our bodies are very connected, and one will affect the other. And if you allow yourself to become a victim of chronic stress, it's not going to go well for you health-wise. That's what happened to me. I was on hormone replacement therapy, but I think what really tipped me over into having cancer was stress of living with an active alcoholic. Don't do that to yourself. Like, you have alternatives. You don't have to take this.
Yeah, I so agree. I think the same thing with me. It was very controlling, unhappy relationship, and I think it just tipped me over the edge. And and I do feel that when you're surrounded by negative and all of that, it plays a part in your body and your health. 100%. So yeah, 100%. And it's not easy being able to move through that journey that you did, and what I've done, and we've come to the other side, and now hopefully we're moving in a path and the journey that we want to do and inspire others along the way. So awesome.
Well, that's what I'm going to write about in the next book, is basically how I flipped it. Yeah. How I took these negative experiences that I went through, that we all go through. Not only how did I flip it, but how can you flip it?
Yeah. I can't wait for that book. Let me know, because I want to read it. Yeah, we should get off here so you can start writing. No, I'm kidding.
I've already started.
I think it's great. Well, there was like a few things that you said too in the book that I do want to touch on, is that you said something about, I know I'm not wording it right, but you said something about like you weren't going to fight the cancer. Yeah. You made it like a job. It's like, it's okay, I have it. I'm going to do the treatments. I'm going to do this. You got your team together. As I say often in divorce, you have to get your team together. You need to focus on getting through that. Yeah. And that's what you did. And you came out the other side of it. And I loved how you made it like a job, and you're going to quit that doggone cancer.
That's a job I used to have. It's like, I don't even think about that job anymore. But I see so many people who they drag on and they go, oh, cancer changed me forever. I'm never going to be the same. No, you're never going to be the same. but what do you want to be going forward? Don't look back, look forward.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the light.
Right. Right. And you talked about your reconstruction and what you had to go through to be able to do that. And
it was a lot. I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Chemotherapy was the most difficult physical experience I've ever been through in my life. At least with childbirth, it's really painful for a short period of time and you get a prize at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Chemotherapy is a slog. They call them rounds of chemotherapy for a reason, because you just get the crap kicked out of you. And then once you finally start to feel like a human being again, it's time for round 2 or round 3. And chemotherapy almost killed me. But you know what? I'm not going to hang on to that. I put that suitcase of shit down, and I'm not going to continue to carry it.
Yeah, absolutely. You're so great. You are so great. And I love your book. Again, everybody, I Made Life My Bitch by Barbara Smith. All you have to do is just go on Amazon, get it. It's an easy read, very fun to read. Your journeys were inspiring, enlightening. And I wish that sometimes I was on the journey with you, when you were experiencing, I could just picture you learning how to ride the motorcycle. When you were saying that you went down in like some sort of like alley type of turnaround thing and it was gravel, and you were learning how to go on gravel because
gravel and sand are very difficult. But once you learn what the properties of each of the road surfaces are, then you know what to do. You don't screw around with gravel or sand, especially if you're turning. But you'd think driving a motorbike through water would be really dangerous. Not dangerous at all. Crazy, huh?
No. Wow. We have that water here so are you going to get a motorcycle?
Here? No, I'm just going to drive the convertible.
Get a little moped? Get a little moped?
I don't think so. Maybe.
Around.
Maybe. I'll have to see.
I would stick with your sports car.
I kind of have to protect my pretty skin. I don't want to get too much sun.
That's true. Yeah. Absolutely. Here in Florida, you want to be careful with that.
Absolutely.
Well, you are so much fun. Is there any closing words you'd like to share with our audience today?
I would love it if you would buy the book and join my Facebook group so that you can follow the next journey, because I just want to do epic stuff. I want to inspire. I want to speak. I want to give a hand up to women who maybe don't have the confidence, who have fear, who don't believe they can do it. The message is, I did it, you can do it. And I just want to be that inspiration and kind of lifting other women up, women who've been through divorce or a hard relationship, women who've had some kind of a scary diagnosis, either themselves or a family member, or women who just want to make a big change in their lives and reinvent. I guess that's the biggest message that I have is, it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter where you come from, it doesn't matter what your age. You can reinvent your life and make it into the life of your dreams.
Beautifully said. Just like your book, beautifully written. Thank you so much. It is such a joy to have you here with us. And again, we're good friends. We see each other outside of this. And so it is just such a pleasure to have you. And again, her Facebook group is I Made Life My Bitch. You can find it very easily right on Facebook. I'm in it. We're going to hopefully do some fun things, whatever. And I'm looking forward to all the inspiration you're going to be sharing with us each and every time. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to close out the show. Again, you guys are listening to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. This is the Author's Corner. Meet the author. I am Cece Shatz, the Doyenne of Relationship Building. Our websites are goingsolomedia.com and goingsolonetwork.com. All of our information is right on there. All of our wonderful hosts and guests, as Barbara Smith, the author of I Made Life My Bitch. You can get her book on Amazon.com. Please go and find it.
Kindle
download
and
the Kindle. Read it. Yeah, I think it's great. Yeah, I think it's absolutely great. All right, guys, we'll see you next time. Love you, and we'll talk to you later. Bye for now.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.